Now we're moving on to volumetric storytelling. I hope to explain these terms if I've got enough of time, right, as we go forward. But meanwhile, please feel free to stop me and ask what it is. Volumetric is capturing a person or an actor with different cameras around them. So you have like a whole 3D representation of that person or that actor in a scene. What that means is if you're watching it in XR or with a VR headset or an AR headset, you could walk around that thing. So you're not just passively sitting back. If you choose to sit back and watch it, you can watch it like regular TV and a piece, but you can actually be in there. You could walk around them. So the one on the left, this video is actually a video I shot remotely while being in Dubai, and the talent was in the UK. And we were looking at remote collaboration and how we go forward in filmmaking. But the point here is I then shot that thing and I could bring the singer into my mini studio. So I'll play that by just placing him down. This is AR. This is, I would say, digital content brought into the real world is augmented reality. So it's like he's sitting down there in my little mini studio, but he's not. It's a video recording and I could walk around him to a certain extent. Now, this is the kind of content that will be going forward in entertainment. Like an MTV Unplugged version of singers of anything. It could be for serious instructional videos. We're moving on to storytelling with haptics, where you can actually, get sensations on your hands and feedback. Again, using Instagram AR. This was done for a film that was already playing on the OTT platforms, which is, all the TV channels like Astro has got OTT in Malaysia, and you've got Netflix and Amazon Prime. These are all OTT, over the top TV things. So how do you drive content to that? Using Instagram AR, I actually took a scene from one of the films that had already been playing and now became a catalog title, so people don't discover it as often. But you could breathe new life into it. So you click on it, and with your cell phone, you move around, and it's like you're in that scene.
It gets very lonely sometimes, because मैं घर के बाहर तो जा नहीं सकती. So did you hear that?
So that's me actually moving my phone around, and I screen recorded it live. And this is all playing from 4 MB because that's the limit of an Instagram filter. But now a swipe up could actually take you then to the full movie, which is on the OTT platform. So driving commerce using social media and AR, these are new ways of actually looking at using XR in entertainment. And then, even for kids, augmented reality in the real world. This is very funny. This is very entertaining. And it opens up a whole new area of looking at how we're consuming or creating entertainment. So that's a real Roadrunner kind of cartoon playing out in the real world around you. Beep, beep. Now, this was probably, I'm not sure, but probably done in the Unity game engine. But you don't need to be a programmer to do this. If you have creative vision, of course, you would be like any other film is made. In a whole collective, you get programmers, you get graphic artists, and you put it all together. Taking it one step ahead, the video on the left is actually what we call volumetric video, which I'm experimenting. These are all experiments. These are not really out there, even on Amazon, even on Netflix. So what I did was, it was a VR film that I'd shot for a studio in India, the one on the visual on the right, but I didn't try to make it volumetric. So if you see me in set, I'm actually bending down, and you could have the whole video playing down. Now, this is kind of content that is in the research stage of adding that extra level. So you see the perspective changing as I bend or if I go down. And this is not really possible right now, but experiments are going on, and it's feasible to do that. So I call this volumetric VR video.
I saw
and
blood
then
on the dance floor.
AR as well.
My blood. It was the last time I would bleed.
So this could be a regular movie you're watching on your
I
TV,
remember his
and you could pull
words,
a character
his
out
suppressed
to
anger.
be into your
He
space.
told me how he prayed for a miracle. But miracles must only happen in another world. he
And
said.
hopefully, we pioneer these kind of technologies and entertainment in
as he
Malaysia,
slept,
because I see there's a
came
lot of
back to
talent
haunt him.
there.
That night,
So I just pull the
How
character
he
with
know
my
he'd be
finger, place him in your
responsible
living
for
room,
altering the
and you
course
could
of
have a
evolution.
continuation of that
He
story.
wanted me back.
But it's all greenfield right now, kind of thing. In entertainment, as we see, like the OTT platforms, Netflix seems to be doing the most. And there's no reason why this kind of research in entertainment cannot happen at most of the media institutions in Southeast Asia. Okay, let me go to the next one. So this is also in my little studio during COVID. We had a lot of time to do R&D, and I was looking at, actually took the Oculus headset, mounted it onto a DSLR rig, and I was in the scene, as it were, filming like a video rather than doing it manually with keyframes. So I'll just play that video and you'll see it.
In our own image.
So
we
hopefully
create.
this session is just to open up,
Male and
the scope of what XR means, what we can do for storytelling and entertainment,
You see.
and not so much a kind of like a
Go forth
what
and
software are we
multiply
using, but I can get into that.
and subdue
But
the
just to
earth,
open up the minds of students and faculty of what we can do.
ruling over every living creature.
So it's like as though I'm in the set. Of course, I was standing in front of a green screen for that, and I think at the last picture I'll have a slideshow of that. So that's my Oculus headset on the rig, and it's used as a camera now. So via like an XR camera, or what we call virtual production. That's the new term that the Mandalorian TV series has made for famous. Okay, let me pause it here, then I can show it to you. So that's just a little tiny green screen I was standing in front of, which put me into that scene. If I had more space, I could literally walk around with the thing, and it would be like I'm walking down that street that I was filming. On the left is my Samsung phone, Android phone out there, which gave me a live view of the scene. I don't think if you can see it clearly, but that's the Oculus headset, which actually gives me the 6 degrees of freedom. So this is the Kinect, which you can actually see behind me, I think, I'm not sure. That does the volumetric depth capture. Now, all these kind of, like a sandbox environment, can actually breed out new tech, new ideas with students and faculty going together.